All right, our next category is...
Dak Prescott's quarterback of the Rams next year. Mark my words. We'll see.
A classic. Breakout player of the year in fantasy football. Drake May, QB2 in points per game. He led all quarterbacks in yards per game when you count passing and rushing. Trevor Lawrence, 38 total touchdowns. That was third most amongst quarterbacks and led to his QB5 finish. Jaxon Smith-Njigba, wide receiver 2 in points per game on the season. George Pickens, who Jay gave a lot of love to earlier, career highs in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. Wide receiver 5 in points per game. And how about Michael Wilson getting to the 1,000-yard mark? He had 1,100 receiving yards in his first 2 seasons combined. So massive year for him. A couple honorable mentions: Kyle Pitts, Harold Fan, and Wan'Dale Robinson.
All these guys broke out through the next level. Like, Drake may become a fantasy superstar. So did Trevor Lawrence over the second half of the year. To your point about Pickens, who everyone had sort of thought was kind of this streaky wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2-ish kind of guy, became a top 5 guy. Obviously, Michael Wilson, who was sitting on waiver wires and ignored for the longest time. But Jaxon Smith-Njigba just became a hammer. Feels like he's the guy for me, in terms of breakout, like just such a massive breakout. I think it's either him or Drake May in terms of breakout.
Yeah, I think it's JSN. Like, JSN was drafted in the 4th round, predominantly a slot receiver, becomes the best outside receiver in football, wide receiver 2 in points per game, and stayed healthy the entire season. And also just the fact that he could change his role so substantially and be basically 45% of the entire Seahawks passing game unto himself. I think it's JSN.
I mean, imagine you said to somebody in August, you know what, I'm going to draft JSN over Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb, and they'd look at you and be like, wow, I don't think about that breakout, like that kind of jump. And
JSN was sort of in more like the kind of Jordan Addison type of, closer to that range than the Jamar Chase range, and now he's the best player on the team that's a Super Bowl favorite.
Right.
I would go JSN or actually Michael Wilson. To what you just said, Connor, imagine saying in August, man, I'm going to take Michael Wilson in the 9th round. People be like, what?
Right. Or him over CeeDee Lamb. He had more total fantasy points than CeeDee Lamb this year.
And like a guy like Drake May, again, like I think we all talked about like he could break out.
He was on the preseason love list.
We knew he had that rushing upside because he showed that last season. And Jaxon Smith-Njigba, we was questioning the quarterback situation. Yeah. We was questioning, could Sam Darnold do it again? Well, damn it, they got a bye. So he did it again to some degree. So I would go Jaxon Smith-Njigba too. My close second would be Michael Wilson here.
Let's take a look at the fan vote for Breakout Player of the Year. We'll see if Michael Wilson can take this one. And wow, Jaxon Smith-Njigba, 60%. That's our biggest fan vote I think we've had yet. Trevor Lawrence with 1%. Drake May, the runner-up from the fan voting at 29%. Peacocky, make your way over here.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence only getting 1% a little,
Take that, Trevor.
I think the bar for a quarterback breakout is just different.
Look at Peacocky getting the crowd into it, firing up the crowd. Yeah, let's go. Woo-hoo! Oh, the fighting Peacockies.
Thank you, Peacocky. Breakout Player of the Year. That was close.
I mean, that was very close. Peacocky's going to knock over. I'm going to be soaked in Diet Coke.
And the Peacocky goes to, for Breakout Player of the Year, Jaxon Smith.
There we go. Congratulations once again,
Jaxon. Friend of the show, Jaxon.
Come on up.
Friend of the show, Jaxon.
That's the guest. Come on up here,
That's our special guest here in the third.
Yeah, Jaxon will
not preparing for his game against the Niners on this weekend. The other thing about JSN is I remember when they signed Cooper Kupp, and we were like, well, that makes no sense because, like, JSN is best in the slot, and now you've got Cooper Kupp, the slot guy, and so what do you? So they moved around. Think about all the things so you were like, not sure about the role with Cooper Kupp. They gave Cooper Kupp real money, so clearly the Seahawks thought that Cooper Kupp still had something left. Then you're like, new offense coordinator in Clint Kubiak. You're not sure what's going to happen there. Oh, by the way, Sam Darnold, was he a product of Kevin O'Connell's system, or could Sam Darnold get the ball and support JSN to this kind of level? And no one sort of thought, we liked him, as a sleeper, but no one thought he would be second only to Puka Nacua, that he would just be an absolute fantasy superstar and lead the NFL in receiving yards. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and Rotoworld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.